Yosemite National Park, a place of impossible beauty. Granite cliffs, silver rivers, air so thin it feels holy. But behind the postcard lies a pattern that refuses to fade. People walk in and never come back. The government says it's coincidence. The locals whisper another word: cursed. They call it the crown of the American wilderness, a temple carved by time, where sunlight pours down cathedral walls of stone and waterfalls descend like endless prayers. But beauty has a price, and in Yosemite, beauty watches. Every year, millions enter the park. Families, hikers, rangers. Most leave with photos, some with broken bones, and others with nothing at all. No footprints, no gear, no trace. Since the early 1900s, hundreds of people have vanished inside these mountains, swallowed by canyons, forests, and silence. Search parties find no evidence. Radios fail. Dogs lose the scent, as if the air itself swallows it. The official reports call them missing persons. But to those who've seen the way the park changes at dusk, how the granite glows like ember, how the sound of water drowns every voice, it feels like something older is moving here. Something that doesn't like to be found. Some say it's the terrain, cliffs that hide their dead. Others whisper of portals, of strange lights that dance between the pines. And a few believe the land itself is alive, that Yosemite chooses who stays and who disappears into its lungs of stone. Because when the wind moves through the valley, it doesn't sound like air. It sounds like breathing. This is not just a park. It's a predator made of granite and silence. A place that doesn't just take lives, it keeps them. Welcome to Yosemite National Park, the park that eats its own. The pattern of innocence. In every great mystery, there is a pattern. And in Yosemite and in other national parks across America, the pattern begins with children. Tiny footprints that stop in mid-trail, laughter that fades into wind, search parties that find everything except what matters. They disappear in daylight, within sight of their parents, on calm afternoons that turn to panic before the sun sets. It is always the same story told with different names. We looked away for a second. Dennis Martin, the boy in the Smokies. The year was 1969, Father's Day weekend. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park, a forest older than the nation itself. 6-year-old Dennis Martin was playing a game of hide-and-seek with his family near Spence Field, a high meadow surrounded by ridges and mist. He ran behind a stand of trees. His father counted to 10 when he called his son's name. Nothing. Within hours, rangers, Green Berets, and hundreds of volunteers scoured the forest. Days turned into weeks. Rain washed away tracks. Dogs lost the scent as if the wind had stolen it. A witness later claimed he'd seen a man carrying something small, something red, down the slope that same afternoon. Dennis had been wearing a red shirt. The Army searched with helicopters, thermal gear, infrared scopes. Not a single clue. No clothing. No remains. No trace. The case became the blueprint for the missing 411 investigations. The story that started a movement of questions the Park Service still refuses to answer. Stacey Arras, the girl who disappeared inside Yosemite. 12 years later, it happened again. July 17th, 1991. 14-year-old Stacey Arras was hiking with her father and a guided group in the High Sierra Camp area of Yosemite. They'd reached a ridge with a perfect view of the valley. Stacey wanted to take a photograph of a nearby lake, only a few dozen meters away. Her father watched her walk down the path. She turned a corner, and she was gone. Just that fast. The search was immediate. Rangers, volunteers, helicopters, scent dogs, even divers scoured the lake. Nothing. A shoe was found near a log. That's all. No signs of struggle. No fall marks. No animal tracks. The dogs followed her scent for roughly 50 yards, and then stopped cold, whining, confused, tails low, as though she had stepped off the map. In Yosemite, that silence has a name. They call it the dead zone. Places where scent vanishes, echoes die, and GPS glitches. Stacey Arras was never found. Not a bone, not a thread of clothing. Only the photograph she never took, forever missing from a camera that never returned. Others, the mountains kept. The files go on. A toddler in Oregon, last seen playing beside a creek. 5 minutes later, gone. A boy in California found 6 miles uphill, barefoot, without a scratch, claiming he followed a light. A little girl whose footprints ended in a circle, as though she had walked into nothing. Different places, same pattern. Witnesses a few meters away. Search teams minutes later. No clues. Rangers whisper that when a child goes missing in Yosemite, weather always changes. Skies that were clear turn violent. Fog descends. Rain erases evidence. It's as if the mountain itself knows the script. The dogs and the silence handlers report it again and again. The best trained bloodhounds pick up a scent, surge forward, and then freeze. They pace, whimper, lie down, refuse to move another inch. Some even pull away, tails tucked, ears back, eyes wide, as if they've reached the edge of something they can't cross. Scientists call it coincidence, wind shift, terrain, temperature. But to the searchers, it feels wrong, like the scent doesn't end. It's cut off. Helicopters circle until fuel runs dry. Infrared cameras sweep the forest, and yet the screens show nothing but static. No heat, no movement, no explanation. When the search ends, the forest goes back to being beautiful. The kind of beauty that forgives nothing. The theories. The official ones are simple. Wild animals. False. Exposure. Human predators. But if those were true, there would be evidence. Tracks, remains, torn fabric, something. There is nothing. Others speak of stranger things. Dimensional slips, electromagnetic portals, time anomalies, stories of people vanishing and reappearing days later miles away. Disoriented, unaged, unable to explain where they'd been. It sounds like fantasy, until you realize the fantasy keeps repeating itself. Even David Paulides refuses to offer a theory. He only collects facts, leaving the silence to answer. Because whatever happens in these places, it does not want interpretation. It only wants the next name. The unbearable question: how can a child vanish within arm's reach of an adult in open daylight? How can scent die in clean air? How can an entire world of experts search 1,000 times and return with nothing? The statistics say impossible. The wilderness says inevitable. In Yosemite and beyond, the pattern continues. Each disappearance begins the same way, with laughter, sunlight, and the illusion of safety, and ends with a forest that suddenly seems infinite. Closing beat for Chapter 2. The first to vanish were the smallest, the ones who trusted the world most. They walked into the trees chasing butterflies, echoes, photographs, and stepped into the oldest mystery on Earth. Their names are carved into stone and paper, but not into soil. Because Yosemite keeps no graves, only silence. The first to vanish were the smallest, children who wandered off for seconds, only to dissolve into the trees.